All right, so you may or may not have heard of DairyDex because I had not heard of DairyDex, but it is an Algorand-based derivatives market. And unfortunately, the first way that I heard about it is that it's facing federal pressure along with a number of other DeFi protocols before it's even launched. That's right. They have been tagged in an enforcement sweep with these other projects. And what's interesting is that DairyDex is still in development, so it's not even out yet, I'm pretty sure. Now, their Twitter account is entirely locked down, by the way. So I'm not like if they have it, but it's like if you're not mutually following each other, I think you can't see it. We'll take a look at that. Then I want to get onto this Zach XBT thing because I think that's really important. Let's see if that's that one. So I first came across this. Here's the this is from stack.algo. Thanks for the info, Stack. He says, here's the CFTC's findings against DairyDex headquarters built on Algo. DairyDex is a Delaware corporation with its place of businesses in North Carolina. They were fined $100,000 for facilitating $1.65 million in perpetual contracts after collecting after collecting less than $100 in fees on those trades. That is wild. Goes on to say DairyDex developed, deployed, and maintained a blockchain-based digital asset trading platform marketed as a decentralized on-chain derivatives platform. Yeah, well, it's a decentralized, it's on the blockchain, right? Smart contracts on the Algorand blockchain function as a blockchain-based digital assets trading platform. The DairyDex protocol was accessible to retail and institutional users in the United States and abroad through their website and through direct interaction with the smart contracts that constituted the DairyDex protocol. Respondent did not take any steps to exclude U.S. persons. Yeah, this is a reason why a lot of these companies don't operate within the U.S. because the U.S. just has zero clarity on its crypto rules. It's horrible. Everybody's been asking for it, and they just won't fix it. I don't understand it. Oh, I have to download it. I don't want to download it. So here's the whole story, okay? Here's what's going on here. Because they also went after CFTC, also went after Open, spelled with a Y, other DeFi operations. Okay, let me scroll down here. Okay, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, in case you're wondering what CFTC stands for, has charged 3 decentralized finance operations, Open, 0x, which operates on OX, and DairyDex, which operates on Algorand, with offering illegal derivatives trading, according to a Thursday statement from the agency. The 3 firms face a number of accusations based on their use of blockchain-based protocols and smart contracts to function as trading platforms, according to the CFTC. The U.S. derivatives regulator is ordering Open, 0x, and DairyDex to cease those violations and pay penalties of $250,000, $200,000, and $100,000 respectively. Yeah, and like we said, DairyDex received a $100,000 fine. And how much did they make off of that again? About $100 in fees. So they got $100,000. That's the opposite of what you would want in an investment. Somewhere along the way, DeFi operators got the idea that unlawful transactions become lawful when facilitated by smart contracts, said CFTC Director of Enforcement Ian McGinley. They do not. But the CFTC may have been especially familiar with OX because it hired an acting director of Lab CFTC from OX Labs. That's kind of weird, right? I'd feel, man, can you imagine like this federal agency hires your acting director at one point, and then I'm sorry, that's hiring someone from your lab to be the acting director of Lab CFTC. Oh, geez. He's now the head of policy in North America for chain analysis. Interesting. They go on to talk about some of these other ones. According to this, like CoinDesk couldn't locate a representative for DairyDex. That's interesting, isn't it? But it makes sense because if we go back to here's DairyDex's account, and you can see it's locked down. You can't see it unless you are an approved follower of Dairy Decks, and I am not an approved follower. That's probably why I haven't heard of them, because they're locked down. Now, I don't know if they did that in response to the enforcement action. They know that they're being watched, so they took it off of there. But I had not heard of Dairy Decks at all. I knew nothing about them, have not heard of them until this thing happened, and there they are. So interesting. So I don't know if I'm sure it's probably happened, but I don't know if another platform on the Algorand blockchain has received that kind of pressure from a federal agency. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I think a lot of them operate outside of the US. I met a lot of, not all of them though, but a lot of the people I met were from other countries when I were not from the US when I visited Decipher last year. By the way, that is in March of next year in Barcelona. FrugalBC will not be in attendance. I only went last year because I had a sponsor. Sponsor was not the Algorand Foundation, by the way, as I saw alleged online.